Right then, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for a Honda CR-V 2.2 EX diesel. This car's covered just 45,000 miles from new, and as you know from the advert, it's got a lovely service history attached to the car, very comprehensive. It's in really lovely condition. Lights and lenses there completely clear and intact. Front bumper very clean, just the odd very light mark on it, and the bonnet itself, in all honesty, hardly exhibits a stone chip anywhere. It's incredibly clean. Coming down the near side, passenger side of the car, again very clean indeed. I did see one tiny dimple dent, which I'm going to try and find for you. It is very small. Worth pointing out, a couple of brand new tyres on the front of the car, and the ones on the rear have absolutely tons of tread as well, so excellent tyres on the car. Continue down the vehicle. There it is, I can just see it. It's a little indentation, it's the size of your little sort of, I mean, it is very small, very small. Rest of the paintwork generally very good. Obviously it's a black car that's 13 years old, so there will be the odd sort of light, very light mark on it, but it's as I said, very clean for the age and mileage. Going to the off side of the vehicle, driver's side again. The side absolutely clean, no indentations at all on there. The alloys, by the way, all around are in absolutely fantastic condition. This generation alloys actually hold up exceptionally well. It really is a very handsome car, even to this in this age, and the roof rails actually kind of set it off a bit more, in all honesty. Coming to the back of the car now, big wide opening rear doors. The leatherwork is in amazing condition for this age and mileage of car. A lot of the CR-Vs are used for family use, so they do tend to get a bit battered about in the back, but this one's been sort of, I think kids have been kept away from it. It's amazingly clean. And worth pointing out, I've not cleaned this car yet, so I wanted to show it exactly as it came to me. It's coming into the near side passenger front door there. Again, seats hardly look as though it's been given much use at all. I just come in the driver's door card, again all very clean. Obviously there is a full, you've already seen, full set of original Honda mats fitted to the car. And driver's seat there again in really good condition for the age and mileage. So sat inside the car now, engine's running through section so the dash can actually be seen illuminated. Dashboard looks pretty much as new, it's amazing condition. Just going to close the roof blind there so it doesn't reflect on the sat nav, but you can see they're working exactly as it should. The car into reverse, parking sensors beeping, and then rear parking camera working exactly as intended as well, but it has been kept wonderfully well. Heated seats again working exactly as they should. You can see that obviously lock and wheel nut key is present with the car, and they're 45,065 miles, no warning lights on the dashboard at all. This video is done after the road test, by the way, which hence by the way mileage is higher at this point than it was at the start of the video, sadly enough. There we go. That really is a fabulous looking vehicle in here. So just finally come under the engine bay. Honda present these things absolutely beautifully. They are absolutely superb units as well. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for Honda CR-V. It's a 2.2 EX diesel. This particular car is registered GR07LHX and mileage is just 45,060 miles. The reason we do these videos is basically so that if you're looking at the car online in an advert, you actually get to see the very car advertised in operation. And we believe it is important, and the reason being that we've been to see many cars which just look great in the photos and the description, only to get there and find out when you drive it, it's got a fundamental problem, which shows up whilst test driving the vehicle. So hence that's why we do it. It's also done on these very quiet country roads, very close to our premises, and this actually forms part of any test drive route, the test drive route any prospective buyer would go on. The reason being that hopefully then it'd be representative of what you feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car itself, it's been very, very well looked after mechanically, and it is immediately obvious. We've just serviced the car, and it's had an independent MOT placed upon it, which showed no advisories at all. Engine starts absolutely instantly, of course, and settles to completely smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car. I'll let you know the temperature when it's up to full operating temperature. Obviously, I try and start these videos when the cars are stone cold. But the engines are just fabulous units. They're very, very smooth, especially when warmed up. But it's got a lovely power delivery. It's very linear. But it's just the mechanical refinement of the engine which is just so superb. It's very un-diesel-like, especially when you're actually up and running. Even Honda can't get away with the fact that when you're in kind of first, second gear, you'd obviously know it's diesel at the lower gears, but when you're up and moving, it's incredibly smooth and way ahead of its time. They are cam chain driven, no cam belts to worry about on these cars, and this is the pre-DPF, so there's no DPF filters on these, which is a big plus in my personal opinion, but there we go. Engine then feeds through clutch into gearbox. Clutch bite point is exactly where it's meant to be, and actuation is absolutely perfect in that sense. Gearbox on the car, which is just a really fantastic gear change. It's really short and shift. It's got a lovely mechanical actuation to it. It really feels a lot more sporty than would ordinarily be sort of thought necessary in this type of car. But it's a really fabulous gear change. And a gear lever position here is absolutely fantastic. Just right, it's not down here, it's not right up there. They've hit the sweet spot with that, and I can feel there's absolutely no wear in the linkage whatsoever. Steering on the car, this generation is one of the last of the Hondas which still uses hydraulic power steering. And because I'm an old dinosaur, I think it's all the better for it. It's just got a lovely natural weighting to the steering. What it does actually is it makes the car feel really solid and planted on the road, but it just has a very accurate, very precise steering. It's not a sports car, of course it isn't, so it's not sort of incredibly direct, but it just is perfect for the type of car it is. It also exhibits absolutely no wear, tracks bullet straight, and there's no vibrations at all at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit. Chassis of the car is, again, they've done the really good job, because what Honda are trying to achieve, and bearing in mind that the CR-V is the best selling SUV in the world, they obviously know their market very, very well indeed. So what they give you is a car that goes through corners like this, minimum input on steering, hardly any body motion and hardly any body angle on it, at sensible speeds. Obviously the higher speed you go, the more you'll get, but it's very controlled to the corners. You don't get that horrible lurching and swaying that you get with some of these types of cars. But what it also then gives you is a very comfortable and compliant ride. It's very, very well judged. What I'm also looking for on road test, by the way, is just any kind of knocking noises or clunks coming from underneath the vehicle, of which there's nothing at all in the car. It's all exactly as it should be, so all fine there. Brakes on the car, I'm just going to leave it a fraction later for this junction and then give them a bit of a shove, hold on to things. But it's a really good brake pedal on the car, nice and solid. What I'm looking for on the brakes in particular is that there shouldn't be any kind of pulsing or juddering at all, but they're all absolutely fine. Looking around inside the car now, I mean, as I said in the walk around video that comes before this, I haven't cleaned it yet properly. I mean, it's been kept so nicely, to be fair to it. And what's immediately obvious the very second you get in and drive the car is just how well built these things are. It's a very, very solid vehicle. Dashboard is simplicity itself. Very highly equipped actually, obviously EX model's top of the range, but it hides its technology very well indeed in terms of just being very user friendly. You've got a big screen sat nav there, all working exactly as intended. dual zone climate control system, which pumps out absolutely ice cold air. It's lovely and warm at the moment, and I've had that on and it works beautifully. And it is dual zone, so you can have different temperatures side to side if you so wish as well. Heated seats, again, all working exactly as it should. Dashboard again is very reminiscent of their motorbikes. Big, simple, symmetrical dials, incredibly easy to take the information in. Far more so actually than the later generation, which is slightly more complex, very stylish, but you have to kind of look and wait for a second to take the information. And this is just there, it's obvious. And it's minimalist, which is perfect in my eyes again. Temperature gauge now up to full operating temperature, running at a third, which is exactly where it's meant to be on the car. Car also obviously has auto lights, auto wipers, remote control for radio, cruise control, which works absolutely perfectly. The only thing that doesn't work, and the whole point of these videos is to let people know, is, and very common on the CR-V EXs with the sat-nav, the hands-free, is the hands-free system for the telephones. It was a known leak for the batteries, or a sort of parasitical leach, whatever they call it these days, where basically batteries would sort of run flat over a period of days and it just draw off that system. So what they did, very simply, is disconnect or remove the hands-free module, and it stops it completely. So, and that's obviously been done some time ago, so it means it doesn't work. But as I said, the whole point of these videos is to pick up on anything we can, and that's the only thing I can find, because everything else works exactly as it should. It is, by the way, a four-wheel drive car. All of this generation CR-V was, but there's no buttons. It does it all for you, basically. It just senses when the front wheels are going to start losing grip and brings in the rear wheels automatically. It's absolutely brilliant. It's genius, in fact. Because most people drive in conditions like this, so you know, why have four-wheel drive wearing away? All you actually manage to achieve is using up tyres more, getting through more fuel and putting more mechanical stress on the car. But because this is only used hardly any of the time, it means the whole system is incredibly reliable. So much so we've never put a spanner on one in 20 plus years of selling cars using this system. As I said at the start of the video, the point of it is to pick up on anything we can, which obviously I've picked up on the only thing there. It drives absolutely beautifully. It really does. Even by modern standards, it drives nicely. It's just a really solid, high quality car, which is exactly what you'd expect from a Honda. If you've got any questions about the vehicle, don't hesitate. Please do give us a call.